Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a 1976 All-City player from John F. Kennedy High School. We talking about legendary. This basketball head made his mark on the high school scene as one of the top players in New York City before becoming a 2-year letterman under legendary head coach Shelby Metcalf of Potomac Junior College in West Virginia, where he developed his skills for a big-time college program. After graduating Potomac, he took his talents to Texas A&M University. In 1978-79, this basketball head averaged 10.2 points a game while recording 124 assists, 109 rebounds. 33 games for the Aggies. The very next year, this basketball head became the team's co-captain during that magical 1979-80 season in which the Aggies won the Southwest Conference with a 14-2 record and advanced to the NCAA Sweet 16 after defeating Bradley and North Carolina in the first and second rounds, respectively. This basketball head was one of 3 teammates named to the All-Southwest Conference team, averaging 12 points per game while recording 100 rebounds, 100 assists on 46% shooting percentage. This is crazy. Following his career in Aggieland, this basketball head was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1980 NBA draft by the Dallas Mavericks. And I know what y'all saying, young people. 3rd round, they're only 2. Well, back then, young people, there were 7 rounds. Damn, I miss those days. They changed it as soon as I graduated. Well, anyway, in 2020, this basketball head was named to the Southwestern Conference Basketball Legends team. So that means he's a legendary basketball player, straight from NYC. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show John F. Kennedy High School and Texas A&M University legend, David Britton. Let's go.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, my brother?
What's up, King? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Man. I got you on the show, man. Finally, we're making this happen.
Wow. Thank you.
Nah, listen, I just want to say right off the back, man, being a New York City baller myself, I just want to say you goes down as one of the greatest players in New York City history, and we want to be able to give you your flowers tonight, King, and show the world and let the world know that Mr. David Britton is a New York City legend for real.
I appreciate that. I'm thankful for all the great players I played with and against, and just being honed in New York on the city playgrounds really pushed me to greater heights, to not be afraid to travel off to West Virginia and then down to Texas without worrying about anything, having the confidence that I got the game to play against all these different top players around the country.
And you represented New York so well. That's another thing. You did it on the hardwood, but you represented us well in real life. So, big up to you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I want to jump right into this, man. I always ask all my guests who come on the show, who introduced you to the game?
My brother, David Britton. Trevor was, like, I always looked up to him. We always had to go, me and my little brother had to go wherever Trevor went. And then we had, we called our other brother, Chuck Daniels. Chuck was older than Trevor, and he was getting ready to go to college. And so Chuck took us around everywhere, and Trevor followed, and Trevor was to put the toughness in me. Chuck showed me, like, he went to King's College in New York. And I went to a game. They had the purple uniforms, purple and white. I'm going to King's College. You couldn't tell me nothing else. I was there. He had good players and everything. And I told him one day, we was at 116th Street reunion. He says, Dave, after you went on your first visit, you said, I'm not even thinking about King's College. I just started laughing. But it stays in my heart because that was that dude, Chuck Daniels and everything. But my brother Trevor, matter of fact, we were up in Canaan Baptist Church. Mm-hmm. It used to be there's a gym up there. So we was playing. And I was the youngest one out there, kind of scared. And I was playing against a guy named Alonzo Super Kid Jackson. And Super Kid told me, if I touch him, I'm going to punch you in the face. My brother looked at me and said, and if you don't touch him, I'm going to beat you up every day. Easy. I'm pushing him and trying to foul him and everything. I got to stay in that house.
That's right. That's right. And you don't want that butt whipping every day. I'll take this one shot with you.
Yeah.
Then every day with my brother any day.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So what part of New York did you grow up in?
I'm from 116th Street between Lenox and 7th in Harlem. I'm from Harlem. But people think I lived all over the place because I went to school in the Bronx since 1965, PS 86, then Tatart 143 in the Bronx. Then I went to John F. Kennedy. So I had an opportunity to meet so many different friends, all different backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds and things of that nature. So traveling and hanging out in different places was great for me. I learned how to ride a bike up on 195th Street and Kingsbridge Road with my little Jewish friend, Carl Heinrich. I learned how to ride a bike. I was so happy. I didn't know what to do. But playing sports was I'm a sports nut. My father, my brothers, I had older brothers in the Army. He was a boxer, the heavyweight champion. So I've been exposed to everything. Had the opportunity to see Muhammad Ali walk through 116th Street.
Hold on. Time out. First check of the night, I told her, everybody that's in the building, this your first time on Basketball Heads, make sure you subscribe, hit that, that like button, and show some love. But we're going to back up for a second, D. You said your brother was heavyweight champion?
In the Army, heavyweight champ. He was a boxer.
Wow.
Like, all the old heads, they know who Tony Pickett was. Like, he went to Hughes High School. Like, he was a protector in Harlem. Some of his friends, Bob McCullough knows him very well, and they'll tell you his own story about my older brother, Tony Pickett. When he would come home from the Army, like all the dudes who pick on me, my brother was home, that stopped for about 2 months. I wouldn't tell him when he left so they wouldn't bother me.
Right. That's good. Hey, you got a brother that can shoot these in New York City. You good.
I shoot these too. I was like, okay, I like that.
Right now, these kids want to shoot these.
Wrong. Totally wrong.
That's right. You want to give each other a chance to live and see another day. That's important.
Correct.
For sure. So when you was growing up, who was the best player in your neighborhood?
A guy by the name of Ron Copeland and Ernest McNear. Like, I didn't play at first. I was playing baseball every day. But when I would go watch them, I was like, wow, I was amazed. Ron Copeland, they called him Silk. I took his nickname. I didn't tell him, though. But when I was up in the Bronx, I was sick.
Right.
Ernest was one of the fastest dudes. I mean, pretty jump shot. They all played for Millbank. I both of them are deceased. God bless them.
Rest in
And
peace.
yes, but they were always like they were so talented. Ernest used to take me up to his house and show me all his trophies. I was amazed. When he was playing basketball, I was playing baseball and bowling. So I had my trophies too. So I would bring them up to my house. Look how many trophies I got. But that basketball, it was something about this basketball. So I got to learn about this kid named Joe Scott, who was our age.
Okay.
So I went to watch Joe Scott. Joe Scott killing everybody. He's our age. So I just wanted to go because he was our age. Then he started playing with the big kids at Millbank. He was just a phenomenal kid. He also went to John F. Kennedy. By the time we met up in Kennedy, I think Joe had got other interests, and I had surpassed him as far as basketball. But before, he was one of the most amazing young kids I ever met. But Ron Copeland and Ernest McNeil was spectacular. Spectacular.
Salute to those two kings for sure.
Yes.
Now, you stepped into John F. Kennedy High School because you was a multi-sport guy, bowling, baseball. And when you got to John F. Kennedy, I want to know, how was your transition and when did you start to come into your own as a basketball player?
Well, in the 9th grade, I went to John Peter Tatar, and I had a cousin. He passed too, Chad Carver. So everybody, I'm trying to go to Bronx Science. I had won all the awards, the academic awards at junior high school. My mother said, "You're going to science." The guys came back to me and said, "Yo, Chad Carver is the man at John F. Kennedy." I was like, "That's my cousin." I was like, "What?" I said, "If he the man, I could play over there." So when I went up there to visit, they had like 4,000 girls. I said, "Mommy, please, Mommy, can I please go to Kennedy? I will behave. Please, I'm going to do everything you tell me to do." So she trusted me. The principal was there, was Mr. Mastruzzi. I used to go to day camp up in the Bronx, PS 95. So she knew my whole family. My sisters, Debbie, Trevor, Keith, all of us used to go to day camp. So they had a relationship, my mother and father and the principal, who now at John F. Kennedy. So it was a smooth transition. No problems, no problems, no nothing. I knew what I had to do. And then basketball evolved. Paul Grebin was my coach. When I first got there, my knee was hurt. I had ran into a pole, so I couldn't play. So I used to sit on the sidelines. But I remember as we got closer to tryouts and whatnot and everything like that, he already said, "Yo, you're going to be on the team." And so I used to tease some of the other guys and play because they never seen me play, the guys from like downtown. There was a guy named Rob Wright. Rob Wright and I have been together over 50 years.
Wow.
He became one of the legendary coaches down here in high school, right? ABCD camp, Sonny Vaccaro, Nike, Adidas, all those things, right? Carter High School, Friday Night Lights in basketball. But when we first met, we couldn't stand each other. So I told him, I wanted to play one day. I told him, "Hey, check this out. If you touch me, I'm going to beat you up." He told me if I touch him, he's going to beat me up. I said, "The only reason I'm not going to beat you up because you talked to my cousin," right? So we started playing basketball, still didn't like each other, kept going through. I started meeting other guys, Wendell Ramsey, Phil Walker, Manny Salazar. But all them dudes, except for Phil Walker, played on the JV. Rob had a chance to play on the varsity. He told me yes, but he didn't show up. He went to the JV. So we had an argument whose name was going to be on the loudspeaker for the top sophomore every day. So that was I'm fighting him all the time to try to keep my name up there. But what it turned out to be a long friendship. It turned out to be a long brotherhood. Two of my friends first went to school with me at Potomac State, and then Rob joined me at Texas A&M years later. And now we live about 20 minutes apart. I speak to him almost every day, sometimes 3. He coaches at DeSoto High School. So And all the people who everybody said that was going to be bad kids at John F. Kennedy, our crew, everybody graduate and is doing well out here in this world.
Wow, salute to all you guys.
Yes.
What is this thing with you guys uptown saying don't touch me? I'm gonna punch you in the face. Because somebody did it to you. You did it to somebody else, D. What's going on?
I just didn't like him. He could dance better than everybody. All the girls was crazy about him. So I had to do something. And I wasn't a fighter per se. I wasn't gonna never start nothing.
Gotcha.
I was always in defense. But he told me that he was just gonna take my game. You know, you can't walk in the park and let somebody take your game. I was like, you got to be crazy. And the dudes didn't know who I was. They just knew I was from 16th Street. So my man, God bless the dead, I keep saying that. Don't think that it's just like that. But Stu at Grooms, who instilled so much in me, Stu told all of them, yo, he from 16th Street. So all your dudes from uptown, y'all don't know who he messing with down there. So we just going to give him a pass. Let him do all this talking and everything like that. So, I mean, we was, it was a unique experience that I wish I could have filmed like we talked about before. If I could have filmed this, people would be buying this all day long. We was Cooley High before they made Cooley High.
Such a classic movie, man. Such a classic movie. Another movie that kind of made me want to play ball as well. So when you got to like really get in your groove at JFK, how well were you guys doing and how good was your team?
Well, my first year, the biggest thrill I had, we were getting ready to play Stevenson, who was city champs in the B division that year. And they had won 58 games in a row. They had a guy named Nestor Cora, All City, George, what was George's last name? I can't remember right now, but he went to the Golden State Warriors. So Tony Lawson, all these different dudes. So I'm sitting up here, Kevin Stark. They had all, they was Stevenson, right? I remember at the end, before the game, I used to talk a lot. I said, yo, we're going to beat y'all. I'm a sophomore, talking garbage to seniors, right? It was like a couple seconds left. I was on the foul line. I said, didn't I tell you I was going to beat y'all? I'm hitting these foul shots. We out of here. Later, Stevenson. But we struck. We had a winning record, but we struggled. And to tell the truth, we had a winning record. We had a losing record my 11th grade year. And the ironic part about all this stuff is my 12th grade year, we had a fantastic record, but I got hurt. I tore all the ligaments and tendons in my ankle. And I had a partner of mine who I named earlier, who went to school with me, named Wendell Ramsey. Wendell, when you look back there, he was first team All-City, the most votes in the city. Wendell shot 60% from the field. Wendell put on shows that I was like, wow. So when I got to come back during that year, later on the year before the playoffs, I said, look, Wendell, you killing. I'm just going to blend in. I'm going to blend in. I'm going to handle the ball, which helped me handle my ball handling and guard play. And him and Manny Salazar, put them on the wings because they could shoot. They let me play the point, which helped me out. I still was able to rebound and jump in those things. But 12th grade year was when we made our mark as far as high school basketball is concerned. We went all the way to the quarterfinals, and we lost to Lafayette, who was number 2 in the country. Canarsie was number 1. But we had a fantastic year.
Hold on. This is you're blowing my mind right now. You stating things that I've never heard before, right? First, I want to give a big shout out to my guy, Big Broly Chisholm, on the check-in. He said, salute to a New York City basketball legend and a Harlem legend, a true Renaissance man of honor and distinction. We'll get you back up here, Broly, for real. Appreciate you, King. You said Canarsie was number 1 in the country?
In the country.
And Lafayette was number 2?
2 years in a row. In the whole country.
In the country.
Streets and Smith, look it up. They had a guard at Curtis Redden played on that team.
Yeah.
Everybody know Curtis Redden and whatnot. But the guard, Tyrone Latson, he was so good in 11th grade. My friends used to tease me because we played him in one of those all-star games, and he got the best of me. But Tyrone Latson, they had an article in the New York Post on the back of the paper that said, New York Knicks please draft Tyrone Latson before he gets to the 12th grade.
Wow.
The 12th grade. We're not talking about one and done. We said the 12th grade. He was in 11th.
Tyrone Lanson, we're going to blow a tech on you for that one because that's crazy. That's crazy. And listen, this is before guys was getting drafted.
Period.
Right?
Period.
Man, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Who's this? MBJ Holdings. Tell Dave Fred Brown said mustard. Oh, that's right. That's right. Fred Disco Brown, what's up?
What's up,
Another
Disco?
legend on the check-in.
What's up,
Appreciate
Disco?
you, big bro.
I owe you a call. I'm very sorry. I owe you a bunch of calls.
For sure, for sure. Oh, man, it was blessed to have Fred on the show, man. Thanks for coming
great
on.
Dude. John F. Kennedy.
Look at that. See?
Wow.
Crazy. Now, you named some legendary players just now, right? You grew up during the time of, we talking about Fred Brown, Curtis Redding, Carlton Aaron, Ramel Allen, Rolando Blackman, Butch Bostic, Albert King, Alton Brandon, William Calhoun, Brian Winters, Mitch Kupchak, Armand Hill, Dwayne Johnson, Billy Goodwin, Cheese Johnson,
Sam Worthen.
I'm about to get to them. Mike Dunleavy, Al Skinner, Earl Tatum, Sam Worthen, Tom Henderson, and Tyrone Latson, who you played with at Texas A&M. And it's a whole bunch of other players that I'm leaving out.
Arnold
Duggar. We will be here all night. Arnold
Duggar, Carlton Green, Butch Lee. Fantastic. I adored these dudes. These dudes is fantastic. Arnold Duggar, I saw Arnold Duggar do a move up at the Rucker. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I said, oh my God. And he made the shot. I was like, wow. It's still in my head. Stays in my head. God bless Arnold Duggar also.
What was the competition like with all of you guys? You had it from Long Island all the way up to the Bronx and in between.
Well, for one, you have to have a real pride in yourself. So high school, it was prideful. Everything was, we killing these dudes. We going after these dudes. Before, you know how they got buses and all that stuff? We had to get on the train and go to any neighborhood, wherever we had to go. That's just for high school. So it was already mapped out. The street ball was really where I really got off at. Street ball, because now, street ball, if you watch the NBA is street ball. So now you can show all your talent. You could dunk. Remember, they didn't have dunking when I was in high school.
No, you couldn't. There was no real flashy move. They would sit you down on the bench.
So in the streets, they had the music going. The girls is out there. So you trying to get off. You want to hear ooh, ah. So if you make them ooh, ah a lot, they start appreciating you. And you start talking to people. They want to see you more and more. So when you go play, if you have to go to the Bronx, my thing was never lose to the Bronx. We can't lose to the Bronx, period. Right? Julius Allen. I know Julius to be like, there, go on. We used to battle so much. They had so many great teams in the Bronx. Tiny's All-Stars. I mean, it was just so many different teams. And we used to have to go up to the Bronx. Oh, my gosh, because you have to fight, all that kind of stuff. It's just there was so many great ball players, but every day in the streets, even when you had to go play in your park, I used to spend a lot of time at Drew Hamilton playing in the park. Every game was like a war. I remember when Gary Springer wasn't that good, and we used to bring him out to the park. Yo, I met him on the block. Come on, man, you coming with us. Come on, Gary. You're going to learn how to dunk and do all that. The next year, he was a monster. This just from the streets. This was this is us. Amongst us. Steve Burke, monster. These dudes play with us. I love the young kids. Like we had so many bad young kids. It's just every day. You know, if you go outside in the streets and you pass the basketball court, you're gonna go over there and try to play. And it's a challenge. If it's 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 21, whatever. Your pride, at least to me, all the time, I had to win. I didn't want to lose to nobody. It was like heartbreaking. So I kept that same mentality all my life. Even when I'm here, you see my Texans, this is my son, Sam Houston Texans High School. He's the head coach. When I'm with these kids, I tell them, man, when y'all lose, I stay up all night. I wake up like, yo, how y'all lose? What are y'all doing? Yo, You can't miss a layup. You got to make a jumper. You got to make a foul shot. So that's the way it was back then.
And
still today.
Plus, when the young guys got on the court with the older guys, you had to learn, first of all, you had to be good enough to get on the court. There was a whole process. It was a rite of passage. You had to get good enough to get on the court, then be good enough to stay on the court, right?
Correct.
And then get to that next level where you're elite, to where if, you
walk in the park.
You lose, that's another level, right?
Yeah.
You lose, guys will be able to pick you again. Then there's another level when you're not losing at all.
Period.
Right? And if you late, like you said, they're like, yo, I got David. As soon as you come in the park, I got David. As soon as you come in the park, you already know they're going to pick you. So that's the process that you had to go through as a ball player in New York City.
You're exactly right. And think about this. When I first grew up, and I wasn't good at it, man, I used to shoot the ball like this. I was terrible. So I said, what's up, Nappy? I said, I did like this. I said, we had to go to 117th Street to play where Millbank was. To get into the basketball court, we had to climb this crazy big fence, right? And then slide down that pole. You've been over there. You slide down that pole, right? And the water was outside at that fire hydrant. So you had to stay there. In the morning time, we had to watch the older kids play until they finished. When they had like little breaks between the games, you can go out there and shoot and everything. What's up, Erica? You can go out there and shoot and do stuff like that. And it was so crazy, but you learned and you stayed out there all day long. You jumped up, climbed the fence, got to the fire hydrant, drank your water, and got back over there. Ran all day.
Hold on. You're going to another tech, brother. Yo, I told her, this is the mega tech right here, baby. You saw how he did it? So you go to the fire hydrant and you put your hand like this, and the water is a funnel. You use your hand as a funnel. Pause to all my people that's thinking crazy right now. Right? Use your hand as a funnel, and the water would come through, and you would drink the water that way. And this is how you hydrate yourself during those days of playing when it's like 90 to 100 degrees during the summertime.
Correct.
Man,
it's every day.
You bringing back memories.
Every day.
Memories. What year did you join the Gauchos? And talk about the impact it had in your life.
The Gauchos came in the 70s, like 76, 77. My cousin, John, he worked for an advertising company where Lou Dalmeda was the big man. They talked one day. He told them that my cousin played. He gave me a call and said that he wanted me to play. So I said, okay, when do we practice? He said, meet at such and such. I'm going to pick you up. I got there. Everybody's there. It was no practice. You just go play. But the thing about it, when I got in the car, I'm looking at all the bad dudes on the team. I was like, damn, I know all these dudes. And we would go places and play. Never lost a game. Never lost a game. But we were introduced to traveling to prep schools. We were introduced to, of course, playing in Harlem and Brooklyn. Wherever Lou would take us, we went to go play. So it was the thing about it. If we won, he took us to fabulous steakhouses and things like that. He talked about restaurants. He was a restaurateur also. He told us about what to eat, not to eat, watch that kind of stuff. And if he said, sometimes if we was losing by the first quarter, he said, look, if we lose this game, this lose coaching, you guys are not eating. We're going all the way back home. You're not eating nothing. We looked at each other, shucks. We're going to that steakhouse. Come on, let's go. Let's get it going. So it was fabulous as we got when it was time for me to come out of school. I was always connected to those guys. We won almost every tournament. I think every tournament I was the MVP, and my guys was real cool. In 77, 78, I came home to play because I was young enough. We played in the Whitney, and Lou introduced a gentleman. He said, David, this is what I want you to do. Billy Good was on that team. You saw all the guys I had on that team.
Yeah, 139th Street, y'all.
Yeah, right. So he said, David, I'm bringing a coach to coach you guys named Dave McCollum. He said, this is what I want you to do. These guys might not listen. These guys might not listen to Dave because he knew. So you be the buffer. So I told the guys, yo, whatever he tell us to do, that's what we go do. Dave, we got your ear. We won that tournament. Albert King. I mean, everybody who we played against, we smacked.
Albert King was the #1 player in the country in 1977 too.
Yeah. We smacked all of them. Albert, remember? Sidney Greaves, remember? Like almost everybody who came to that park, remember.
Hold on. Are you telling me you smacked my guys down in Brooklyn, Dave?
Not only there, we played them in Vegas too. Wait till I get to Vegas. Wait, they'll tell you the truth. These guys are
they was playing with Gil Reynolds, the legendary Gil Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is getting spicy.
They came to Harlem. We can't lose in Harlem. It's too many. You know, we got fly girls. We got the boys out there. You know, the boys out there.
That's right. That's
and
right.
whatnot. You want to see them? Yo, what's up? When you play again, we want to see y'all. Come by. Okay, that's it. We got y'all.
As Jay-Z said, those rock boys.
Ooh,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That legendary Whitney Young tournament on 139th Street.
Twice.
Against the legendary
Riverside
84-80.
Yes.
What was that atmosphere like? And do you remember how much you had that game?
Like 30. Whatchamacallit? It was jam-packed. I'm talking about you could feel it. Like you could feel it. Everybody, you know, jam-packed. I remember when my father came to the game, he can only come every once in a while. I remember the people, I said, my father here. They said, don't worry about it, we take him. I don't know where they got a piece of like cardboard so he could have a seat on the concrete. Because remember, the Whitney went down.
Right.
And everything. They cleared up. They wiped off the cardboard. My father sat there. He was a very quiet man. He just watched and whatnot. I said, Dave, don't worry about it. I'm going to do my thing. And I just did my thing and whatnot.
How proud was your dad at that moment? And what were you feeling having your dad being there watching you?
He always told me, he never wanted me to I was a very excitable person, as you can see. He always wanted me to calm down, right? And I didn't understand it because I was always so happy. Basketball, sports made me so happy. Right. And I just wanted to scream and jump up and down. And he was like, no, it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of guys out there that you got to try to get better than. They've been playing longer than you. He understood that I was playing for a short period of time. And I was always telling him, my parents was 40 and 43 years older than me. I was always trying to tell him, don't worry about it, Daddy. I'm going to be good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Right? So him and my mother was like real cool when it came to the sports. I lost him when he was 63 years old. And it was just, whatchamacallit? It was, what's up, Cheek? That's Manny. What's up, Cheek? So it was always just a great atmosphere. When my father, he would talk to me about always being cool. Even when I got drafted, he said, where you going to go? I said, well, I played against all the top dudes, Daddy. I should go in the top. He said, well, you only played 2 years. So just look for like 3 will be good. He's told me 3 for some reason.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
We got a lot to cover.
Okay.
Where did the name Dingo come from?
Yo, I was kind of strong, right? And I could jump, right? I remember we was playing in the park, and I was just snatching rebounds. Remember the movie Mandingo came out?
Ah, yes.
With Ken Norton?
Yes.
And everything. So I'm like ripping rebounds, jumping over everybody, snatching this way, dunking this way, trying to do everything. And somebody, I think it was Wendell Ramsey, said, yo, Dingo, Mandingo. It was like Mandingo. Everybody was like, yo, what's up? They still call me that. Yo, what's up, Dingo? And I'm not a nickname dude. People, what's your name? David Britton, right? They call me Dingo. So
but that's where you get your nickname. You get your nickname from other people. You just can't come in the park and say, yo, I'm Ice. It's like Ice who? Ice Gervin? Who you gonna be Ice to? You get me some ice because my water hot, fool. You know, so listen, you gotta respect it when people in the audience give you a name. You know, there's one sportscaster try to announcer, I think in the ABA. Oh no, in a rucker, try to give Dr. J the claw. And he was like, nah, I'm making house calls. We're gonna switch that up to the doctor. So I understand Dr. J give himself a nickname because the first nickname they gave him was kind of whack. And
kind of whack.
Yeah. Dr. J was
the doctor was perfect.
That was it.
And what I heard, he had a bag he used to carry. It looked like one of them doctor's bags. That's what, and he come in, so they put everything together. That's what Bob McCullough taught me, and everything like that.
Makes
But
sense.
everybody used to go crazy. Like I said, doctor coming, and they would zoom up to the Rucker. Like I used to be afraid to go to the Apollo because there'd be so many people, and I wasn't hip at that point. My sister in them was. My sister was like, "I'm going to Apollo." I said, "Daddy, don't let her go, because if too many people, she might get hurt."
And you wound up playing in front of the thousand people at night.
It's
crazy.
unbelievable. And the people, let me show you something. The people from Harlem really, they instilled a seriousness about me going on to perform. Sometimes when I look at somebody, I said, "There's no way I can go back home and tell these dudes that this dude beat me or that this dude best me." And I'll tell you the story once you get to the Kentucky game and all that kind of stuff.
No, we definitely gonna get there. But I want to know, was you kind of upset because you had to go the JUCO route, or was it because of the injury that you suffered your senior year?
Well, to be honest with you, like Wendell was getting everybody. I thought he was going to go to St. John's. And I thought he was going to go to St. John's because, kind of second and was because. So all my recruiting slowed down. West Virginia University was after me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to West Virginia. So I didn't keep my grades up. So when it was time for me to go to West Virginia, I couldn't go. Luckily, thank God, I met a man by the name of Don Moran. And let me show you how fly Don, he was fly. Let me show you something. He was a coal miner. So, well, he owned coal mines. He didn't do no mining. But anyway, he sends me a letter, me and a guy named Seti Solomon from Taft High School, and says, "I want you to come down and visit my school." So I said, okay. So my father takes me out to the airport, and I'm looking at, American, TWA, something, right? It says, no, go to the private airport. So I'm sitting there. There's a linear jet there. Now, if I was a rapper back then, the stuff that I did was, everybody, I'd have been the top rapper. So I jump on this private linear jet. I'm on the phone calling my friend, so I'm on this private linear jet. It takes me to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I get off, and he says, "You have to go over there and get in the helicopter." I get in the helicopter. We fly into the top of this mountain in West Virginia. And on the top of the mountain, it said Moran. So I said, "There, somebody named Moran." I said, "My coach named Moran." So I'm in the helicopter, because the helicopter choppy, doing all kind of stuff, right? This 1976.
That what makes this story so crazy.
If I'm rapping, I'm telling the truth, right? No rapper was talking about that. No rapper was talking. No rapper was talking.
No, that's real. And
right?
To 1977, you said?
This 1976.
1976, you jump on a private jet and a helicopter. You going mad text blowing you tonight, fam. That is living the rapid lifestyle for real.
Way back then. So I go down there, Mr. Miranda, he got his truck and whatnot. We go down there, he talking to us, and when he said, "I want you to play against these guys." So I hear one guy, I think he's from Pittsburgh. He was like, "Man, this dude from New York, he think he gonna come down here and run stuff." So that went ting in my mind. Oh, I'm getting him, right? So we getting dressed. I hear the guys on the thing, they're shaking my hand. "Hey, how you doing? So and so and so." So we getting ready to play. I'm like, who started last year? So that's why I'm looking for the starters, right? They showed me. I said, okay. And the dude who was talking from Pittsburgh, right? Man, we opened the game. I went after him like white on rice. I was trying to murder him. I was trying to do all kind of dunks and everything. I went after him so hard. Boom, 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 boom. I told Seti, "Come on, man. Well, let's kill these dudes." And that's how the attitude, that New York Harlem attitude, was like there. It was right there on you. I went down there. Coach said, "Man, that was good," and whatnot. Next thing you know, he said, "I'm gonna come pick y'all up in a while, get dressed, take a shower, and I'll meet you out in front." He pulls up in a convertible Eldorado, 1970, sky blue, white top, go back. This Mr. Moran, He's not this color. He pulls up in the El Dorado. Come on, let's go. Let's go get something to eat. We wake up in the morning. We getting ready to go back to New York. And inside of New York, he says, yo, y'all go get some pizza. Here's an envelope. Go get some pizza. Take your mother and father. Get some pizza, right? Pizza ain't even cost $1, right? Envelope was like,
this is not NIL deals, people. All right.
This wasn't an NIL. No, this wasn't an NIL. This was to say, this is where you should be at. Right?
Welcome to the family,
yeah,
fam.
Yeah. So I called Wendell, right? Wendell said, yeah. I said, no. We going to Potomac State. Trust me. This is where we going, right? So Wendell waited around. When St. John's didn't give him the scholarship, Wendell was right on. The next year, we took another kid named Hilton Graham. Our first year at junior college, we went to the national championships in Hutchinson, Kansas. Wow. We was the #1 defensive ranked team and whatnot. I mean, he said, who do you want to take? We took everybody, all the cheerleaders, faculty, everything. And he had two planes. He put the teams and the cheerleaders on 2 planes. So I love Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran was the bomb. But not only that, let me show you.
Hold on. Time out. Was that his college for real?
No. They thought it was, because if anytime something went wrong, they go call him. He come down there, straighten it out. We good.
He was the biggest donor, probably.
He was the biggest person in Kaiser, West Virginia, and Maryland. He went to the University of Maryland. He just got honored. He's 93 years old.
Wow, salute
but
to
Mr.
him.
Moran was like this. He knew his knowledge of the game was so much. His knowledge. He was partners with so many different pro. I think he coached with the Clippers and everything like that. He was just fantastic. He was there with the Bullets also. He was just fantastic, and he taught me so many things. My first game there, we had a scrimmage game against a 4-year college. Mm-hmm. They beat us by 63. So the first 20 minutes, I'm taking my stuff off. He didn't call my name. Now, I done had a great practice. Wendell will tell you, I'm practicing killing. The second 20 minutes, he doesn't call my name. The third 20 minutes, he said, go ahead, David, go out there. Like, I'm fuming mad. Like, I'm leaving. I ain't staying here. We go out there, we play. We lose by 63. So when we leave and I'm coming out, I'm talking to my boys, yo, man, forget me. Let's get in I don't want to ride in there. I'm not riding with him. Put me in the back. So I go to get in the back. He said, David, come here. You ride with me. Get in the front. So we in the truck. We sitting up there. He said, let me ask you a question. What you think about them dudes? I said, man, He said, you think you could score 30? I said, easy. He said, okay, so if you had played, you scored 30, we'd have lost by 33. You would have been happy? Ooh. Got me. He got me, right? He said, now I'm going to show you how you need this team and how this team needs you. I'm going to take all your one-on-one ability and put it in a structured offense, because they know they can't score without you like this. Put me in the picks and splits. We still talk about that. I run plays in my AAU team from way back when that people think are unique. But, angles, they taught me angles, how to run the plays and everything. Everything he showed me worked.
Wow.
We played that same team the next week in the scrimmage and beat them. Not by a lot, but we beat them. His main thing was defense, and that's where I started learning, like, I really want to play defense.
So y'all played 3 20-minute halves.
Scrimmage, yes.
In the scrimmage, yes. Very interesting, very interesting. When did things started to develop for you at junior college to where you knew you could play big-time basketball on the next level?
Well, we used to work. Our workouts was like, we used to run a lot. So they had this thing called La Horn. It was the mountains. West Virginia is mountains. So we used to have to run these mountains, run all the way up top of these mountains and run down them, run up them, and run down them. So my legs started getting crazy strong. So I started, like, I was able to practice more, so my jumper started getting better and everything like that. I always could drive. I could use both hands. But to be able to jump and stay in the air and like look, hold yourself and let everybody, and then make a move, left-handed, right-handed, or be able to hesitate, dunk.
Yo, hold on.
Boom.
Yo, hold on. Yo, y'all heard that? He said his legs got so strong to where he could jump, look, wait for guys to go back down, then decide which hand he want to put it up with.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It started getting to where like I could feel it. Like I could stand right under the basket and just dunk it. It was no problem and everything like that. But Wendell was more of a tactician because he was taught under Mr. Ollie. So he would slow me down sometime and whatnot. But I was like, I'm going because I wanted to dunk on everybody. I look for the biggest dude every time. I'm going to dunk on him. Then I'm going to score my points. But I got to dunk on somebody. That's like, I got to have that steak. You know what I'm saying? I got to have that meal. So I was eating. Good.
Man, that is absolutely bonkers. Now, you at junior college, you doing your thing, you getting developing to the player that you needed to be. What was the recruiting process like now? Like what schools were interested in you at this point?
I thought I was going to Marquette, right? Al McGuire, he retired. So I called, everybody knows the grasshopper, Artie Green.
Yep.
I called Sam Worthen, and he told me that they had recruited him, Artie, and this kid named Michael something. I can't remember his name. Williams or Anderson or something, Richardson, something like that. But he was real good. He was a freshman. So I said, shucks. And the coach left. I said, shucks, I ain't going there. It's too crowded. So Gene Keady, who became famous at Purdue.
Yep.
Was at Western
Coach
Kentucky.
Big Dog. Yep.
Yeah, was at Western Kentucky. So there was a gentleman who was just left coaching. He was in Arkansas. He told me, hey, David, I want you to come down to Western Kentucky. So when he called Gene Keady says, I got a freshman that I want to bring in. I don't want to bring in that New York ball player. So it was cool. He called Shelby Metcalf. Shelby called Mr. Moran. Coach Metcalf flew up there with a gentleman, the other coach, assistant coach named Barry Davis. They watched us practice one time. And we had such a good practice. He said, David, I want you to sign, and you can bring anybody else you want to. So I asked Wendell. Wendell didn't want to go. I had another guy we call Slim, Wayne Wharton. Wayne said, I'll go visit with you. And we went down to visit, and like the situation was perfect because they was 12 and 15 the year before I got there, and they had every position set for my position ready to go. Right? We had some good players, but he needed impact. Tyrone Latson was there already. He had transferred from Kansas State, but he didn't have a big guard, and I could play the 1, 2, and 3. So he just said, what he said was, let's come on. He told me that Wayne, it wouldn't be a good choice because we had some bad freshmen that was getting ready to be sophomores. Matter of fact, the all-time leading scorer and rebounder, Vernon Smith, my god brother, God bless him also. He was drafted played with the 76ers in Detroit. He was there. He was the reason why I really chose that. I really liked Vernon. Like he was the type of person you'll love. The first church I went to was his family's church that I still attend. Vernon Smith was one of the best players I ever played with, was a way better person than basketball player. So once I got a chance to meet Vernon, I told him right before, I said, I'm not going to tell him I'm signing. I want to go on another trip, but I'm going to call you up. Then you go and tell him, but I'm coming no matter what. But here's one story I didn't tell a lot of people. When I left West Virginia, it was minus 13 degrees. When I landed in Houston Intercontinental Airport, it was 82. I asked this lady, I said, Miss, how far is College Station? She said about an hour or so from here. I said, what's the weather like? She said 82. It was February. I said, I'm signing. I was so tired of the cold. I said, forget this. It's 82. I could take my clothes off. I could walk around in shorts in February. Shucks, you can't tell me nothing. I'm good.
That's real.
Yes.
That's real. How important was it for you you felt after, all of your success that you had at Texas A&M when you reflect back on Coach Shelby and all the things that he taught you?
Can you repeat that real quick?
When you reflect now, after your career's over and you can think about all the things that Coach Shelby showed you to develop you for the next level, how important was it back then?
The important thing was I told Coach Metcalf we should win the national championship. And I guess he looked at me like I was crazy. But the next year we was 24-7 after 12. Back then, the NCAA would only take 2 teams from your conference.
Yeah.
And Arkansas and Texas was the ones they took. Five Slammer Jam had just started. The Shores, Rob Williams, and it was one more of them had just got there before all the big boys came in. So Houston was packed, Texas Tech. Jeff Houston, another one of your Canarsie Brooklyn boys.
Yeah.
Jeff Houston helped me a lot talking about being down there in Texas. Our next year, 79-80, wait a second. Before that, when I first got there, we beat Kentucky. We beat Indiana first with Bobby Knight, Mike Woodson, and all those boys. We beat them up in Alaska. We beat the Oral Roberts was good. Who else? This is in the beginning. San Francisco with Bill Cartwright. Nevada, Las Vegas. Remember the Running Rebels?
Yeah.
We beat them. Kentucky after when they won the national championship.
All right, so let's before you move on to that, let's talk about the Kentucky game. Salute K. Pratt, appreciate you. What was that Kentucky game like? And did y'all play at Rump Arena?
Rump Arena was 1 year old.
Wow.
Right? And I was in the mall, and when they told me, we walking in there, I walked in the Rump Arena for the shoot around. I said, oh my gosh, this is like basketball heaven. How can you miss? Like, it looked like everything. The lighting was perfect. The floor was perfect.
Wow.
The rims was perfect. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And I had to do an interview. Cal Macy was the #1 guard that year. That's what they said. So I told him this, and it's in the newspapers.
He said, that's what they said.
I said, now, yup, they was asking me questions. You're playing against the great Cal Macy and such and such and such? I said, yeah. So this is what y'all think. This is what y'all know. If Cal Macy, I see what Cal Macy can do. If he can keep up with all the moves I got, then I'll tell you that. But I think he's going to have a problem. The pressure's on them. My coach, when I got back to the hotel, he said, are you crazy? What? He was kind of worried, right? At halftime, I had 20. It was real quiet. 25,000, I ain't hear a peep. Soon as I saw Cal Macy, I went after him like somebody stole something from me. I went after him so hard, boom, boom, boom. And speed wasn't even close. So I said, Dad, they said he the baddest dude. Wow. Great ball player, don't get me wrong. It was just my day that day. So after we beat Kentucky, everybody was all happy. Everybody was where they come from. Remember, we was 12-15 the year before.
Mm-hmm.
We won. We beat Kentucky. Everybody was happy. R.C. Buford, who's the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs, his father came down there, gave us a big Christmas hug, said, y'all go home happy. We said, okay. And that was,
you heard what he said, y'all. Gave him a big Christmas hug. Right? Back in those days, you have a good game, you walk away with something nice. All right? You walk away with something nice. Now, you did another New York guy dirty that played for Louisville back then. Let's talk about this dunk right here.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that was one. I love that dunk.
Who was number 22?
That was the number 3 pick in the 82 draft, Rodney McCray. Yes. So
What was you finger rolling it?
no. You see my face. It didn't look like I was finger roll. You don't finger roll with a face like that. And the ball's coming through the net, and everything is in his face.
Hold
So,
on.
but that's my man.
Hey, Rodney, we love you.
That's
We
my
need you on
man.
the
He know.
show.
Look,
That's right.
he. Wait. Rodney, tell me. He said, "You know what you should have did? Y'all would have won. You should have just went around me and laid it up." Look, me, Scooter, and Rodney went out the night before.
Right,
So I'm
right.
asking them questions about Darryl Griffin. I said, "Yo, y'all gotta tell me the truth. Is he really this good? Yo, y'all gotta tell me the truth." I said, "Is he really this good?" He said, "They said, yeah, David, he good for real." I said, "For real,
Wow.
man?" I said, "Well, I gotta guard him tomorrow. He can't do that to me, right?" Darryl Griffin was one of the hardest dudes I ever had to guard in college. Sidney Moncrief and Vinnie Johnson, those three.
Wow. And that's just in college.
Yeah. So they were remember, Sidney Moncrief was the Lakers was arguing whether to pick Moncrief or Magic. Some of the Lakers, Jerry West wanted Moncrief.
Right. I remember that.
And the owner, Bus, wanted Magic. Moncrief was an intense player. Years later, I found out that we was cousins from Mississippi, Alabama, all that kind of stuff. But was a great, his attitude was so, we got him, we held him to his all-time low. Our first time playing him, he shook my hand, said, "Good game." We went up to Arkansas. The first play, he jumped up so fast it looked like his feet was in my face. I was like, he was dead serious, like, "You ain't getting me twice." The end of the game, this is what he said, like a gentleman. "Yo, man, good game. You got a good game." And walked off. No fanfare, none of that. And I thought about it. I said, man, he was real classy. Darryl Griffin, very classy. You know, these dudes was very classy and whatnot. Vinny and I, all of us, was me, him, and Tyrone Latson was just telling jokes about missing home and being in Texas and things of that nature. So it was those moments, they still stay in my mind. Whenever you lose your last game and win the overtime, they stay in your mind. The week before that, we had just played North Carolina, which is still a record today. We beat them in double overtime, 78-61. The score at the end of the regulation was 53-53. You saw the tape.
Yeah. Now
the score of the second overtime the first overtime was 53-53. That's when we played the four corners, remember?
Got you.
Then the final was, "Yo, you can just go now. Just go."
Wow. So, because I remember you telling me offline that Coach Shelby kind of prepared you, having him as a coach prepared you for those moments, for those great moments, because all the things that he taught you, all the fundamentals, and take your game to the next level.
Yeah, because he let me go. Like coming from Mr. Moran and then going to Coach Metcalf. First he had his reins around me. "No, you can't do this. You can't do this." We had almost all the all-time leading scorers. If you look at it, and this is after years, we still have almost like 4 dudes in the top 10. We had bad dudes, and they still like in the top 10 or the top 20. So think about it. We didn't have no threes. That's back in 80 when we graduated.
Ooh.
So these dudes had to be scoring a lot. Claude Riley. We had a freshman that was nice, 6'9", could shoot, could jump, was real smooth and everything. He won the all-time leading scorers. These dudes, we was on one team. Right? We was on one team. Dave Goff, God bless the day. He was the point guard. Little guy out of Chicago, was nice. Rob Wright, the one I told you about, who we was 15, arguing whatnot, he was on that team. R.C. Buford, the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs, was on that team. Larry Brown said, after we beat North Carolina, he told me that he called Dean Smith up. He said, "The most dangerous team in the tournament right now is Texas A&M. They have size, speeds, and shooting ability."
Now, Cassie Edge, salute, said,
"Hey,
was Arnold Duggar playing that Oral Roberts at that time?"
Nah, it was a dude named Anthony Roberts. Was one of the top scorers in the country, averaging like 30 points a game. He played a while in the NBA. But Arnold had left. I think Arnold had left. Matter of fact, Arnold was up in Detroit. Went to Detroit
Gotcha.
with Dick Vitale.
Got you. Got you. Now, what was he? I met this gentleman. He said he was from Jersey. He was Dick Vitale's first recruit, like first big recruit. And that's how Dick Vitale became famous because of, oh man, I forgot this guy name. He was at the Boys and Girls High reunion, and I met him, and I forgot the gentleman name, but that's another story. We'll get there one day.
Yeah, Dick Vitale recruited me too.
Wow. Now, here's another picture that I want to show you, right? You mentioned him earlier.
R.C. Buford. That's out in Arizona. R.C. Buford is a good friend of mine. I'm praying he's going through some stuff with diabetes, praying that he gets better.
That's right. Salute.
R.C. is the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs. When Popovich got inducted to the Hall of Fame this year, that was a gentleman standing. He said he owes a lot to R.C. R.C. was, when he first came to school, R.C. was a kid from Wichita, Kansas. He was rich before he even knew how to spell rich, but he was such a good dude. He used to come around. He always wanted to find out what was going on in New York. He was fascinated. He wanted to go to the Rucker, right? He was fascinated with everything that I was doing. He was laughing and whatnot. I didn't have a receiver for my records. He gave me a receiver. I think that was the worst thing that to them it was. I started playing hip hop. I was playing to the hip hop 6 o'clock in the morning. James
Early.
Brown, get up, give it up, turn it loose, dancing like I'm up 6 o'clock, blasting the music. I had 2 Bose speakers. They laughed at me because remember everybody used to have the big gigantic speakers.
Right.
I got the little Bose joint, right? That was powerful, right? Every morning, boom, 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 boom.
First of all, Bose back then, like we not even talking about it. It's still around too.
Bose. One of the Aggie guys owned the electronics store.
Ooh.
Bose.
Man. Now,
what's up,
for
Gene?
kids out there, yeah, they talking about Arnold said Harlem legend, stand up, Erica Howell. Eric Weaver's in the building. He said Arnold left Oral Roberts in 1977.
Correct.
Salute E. Weaver. What's up, my brother? Now, this is a message for all kids out there, right? How important is it to make the right connections while you're in college?
I tell people now, I tell some of my friends, if they say, okay, David, you can do college again, what I would have done, I would have studied even more. I would have studied harder. I would have started junior college. I remember Wendell Ramsey and I were in this economics class with a guy by the name of Bill Edel. And Wendell, we was roommates, so Wendell would sit on one side of the room. It was only like 3 blacks in the class. And I would sit on the other, and we would study. So we would answer all the questions and dominate the classroom. And I thought that was so fly. Like they asked me, so they wasn't expecting us to be like that. But Wendell took it a step further. He studied even more because of just the peer pressure from his brothers. His brothers was doctor, science, high school, super duper smart. Him, Bubblegum, these guys were super duper smart. So Wendell had to, Wendell was like, I'm on this mission. I got to make sure these grades is right. I'm thinking about the NBA, So but it helped me to propel because once I did get to A&M, I was able to graduate and everything like that, which was a great day for me. But I tell these kids now, it's so important to go to school, make sure your grades are right, meet the right people. Nowadays, it's even more because they think the NIL, there's only a few people getting NILs.
That's right.
But there's so many other things. I tell kids, y'all want to be in the NBA? Yeah. Well, you could be in the NBA. Rock down there at Madison Square Garden. We love Rock with the ball head.
That's right.
Rock been on them tables. Rock was at Each One Teach One coaching us way back with Bob McCullough. Every time I turn the television on, now he does the All-Star games. He's in the NBA. You could be a broadcaster. You could be someone who works as a secretary. You could be, nowadays, you could do the podcast. Nowadays, you could do any type of Like they talk about all the different type of technology that's involved in basketball. You could be in the NBA for years if you apply yourself. Only a few people play. They got like 18 players now. Only a few players play. But if you're there, just imagine your job is to go to the NBA game, watch the game, and do whatever your job is. 81 times a year. It's fantastic. So I would tell kids also to get your communication skills right, get your vocabulary right, get your enunciation right. Understand who you're dealing with, because you're going to be dealing with different ethnic. Learn as much about other people as possible. Like what people didn't understand. I went from Harlem, West Virginia to College Station. The enrollment at College Station was 40,000. There was 213 black people. I was the only one from Harlem. I was 213 from Harlem. But I let everybody know like who I was. I was very proud of where I'm from. At first, they was like, oh, he's from Harlem. When you walk into the building now at Reed Arena, the first picture you see is of me on the wall in the school. That's good for a kid from Harlem.
That's right.
You understand? So what I understand is that if you meet the right people, some of them going to like you and some of them not going to like you. Jesus Christ never did nothing to anybody. He got haters. So if you don't have a list of haters, then you're not here. You're not a real person. But stay strong, stay positive, believe in yourself. That's what every kid should know.
Let them keep hating. Let them keep hating.
Yeah.
Tell me about this picture. I know you mentioned it before. What was this?
Oh, that's at Fordham University, an all-star picture. You see Arnold Duggar right there, Carlton Green, Jim Bostic. It's so many dudes who played in the pros that were super all-stars, all-city players from New York City. And the guy in the middle is a young guy. He was the youngest one. Ed Searcy was there.
Right.
The youngest guy on the team is
Hold
a guy.
Hold on. Let me try to get this right because I want to play it for the people. But go ahead, explain.
The youngest guy on the team was a guy named David Britton, and I'm standing in the middle. The story behind it was I go to my friend Egbert. All you guys in Harlem know who Egbert is. Egbert tells me that he's in a magazine. So he shows me the magazine. And I said, guess what, Egg? I'm in that magazine too. So I turned to the centerfold. That's the picture he holding. So Egbert said, he looks around and he sees all the great players. He said, David, you know something? I saw all of the amazing players. I've been following them. There's no way that you played in that game. Mr. Couch was our coach, who's 93 also. Mr. Joe Hammond is in there too, and he loved Joe Hammond.
Wow.
And Egbert just told everybody, nobody even knew who he was. They just gave him a shirt. That's what they tell him. And that was his joke. He's still his joke today. That's my man, Egg. Crazy, crazy self.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like that. Yeah, but that was an honor to be with all those guys. Like, honor. I watched those guys on television. I watched them in high school. Some of them with New Mexico. It's so many schools. Cal State Fullerton, Final Four. They got so many super bad dudes on that picture that played in that game. It was an honor to play in that game.
Man, so many legendary people that you played with, you came across. I was trying to get it straight, but you definitely just went over the whole thing. Now, you was thinking about going to the NBA, but you got drafted in the 3rd round. What was that moment like? And how did you find out?
I was down. I went to the draft. It was down. It used to be at the Sheraton Hotel in Manhattan. So me, my mother, my brother Tony, my little brother Keith, my cousin Mal, they call him Workhorse.
Right.
Also went to Potomac State in West Virginia because I kept it going. I kept, y'all gonna keep going down there. And we were all down there. And the draft came in. So I got souped up because the night before the Lakers had called and said, we're going to draft you. So I'm in there dancing with my mother. I'm playing with Magic. I'm going with Magic. Mommy, I'm going to be with Magic Johnson. Oh, sweat. You couldn't tell. My head was this big. I was going to LA. So I'm like, yo, I can't believe this. So when they Went to go to the draft. This is second round. I think it was number 39 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. They said the Los Angeles Lakers picked 6'4". My chest blew up. I'm sitting with Wes Matthews, who already got picked by the Washington Bullets. I'm sitting, my chest getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 6'4" guard out of the University of Indiana. My joint deflated. I was like, what? Butch Carter.
What?
I said, that's the dude I got. Butch Carter. They told me, but then they told me later on that they was making a trade to bring in a 6'9" dude. That's the NBA. Welcome to the NBA. So I stormed out. I was mad. I was like, I was upset. I understand how these people get upset because you built up, you think that's just going to happen. And I was grateful for wherever I got drafted. Just to be drafted in the NBA, I was grateful. I go outside, run outside, I come back in. My mom said, wait, what's wrong with you? They called your name. I said, what? They said, you're going back to Dallas. You're going to the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow.
Oh, sweat. Let me call please.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, I was so happy. I was like, I know what a house I'm going to buy and whatnot. I said, Mommy, you can come live with me. She said, don't you have a girlfriend? I said, yeah, but I'm not married yet. So you come live with me at first and everything. Guess what she said? I'm not coming back down south. But that was it. And I thought it was fabulous. But what I didn't know, the Mavericks was the expansion team. And the Mavericks had, when I got there, they had 48 players in camp. So they didn't even have a coach yet. So we had no like summer league. Excuse me. We had no summer league. We didn't have anything. We just showed up at camp in September. And the thing that happened was I did what I thought I could do. And I had hurt my back. To tell the truth, I really wasn't in great shape. But for that week, I was doing everything. I was just putting everything into it. And the newspaper wrote a real good article, said I had been outstanding that week. And I was going against a guy by the name of Jim Spinarco, Duke graduate. So when they brought me inside, they said, hey, David, when it was time to make cuts and whatnot, they said, hey, David, let me show you something. You did do good against Jim Spinarco, but Jim Spinarco back then, Jim Spinarco was making $350,000. It might not seem a lot, but it was a lot of money back then.
Back then,
right? They
yeah.
said you're making 75. So let me explain something to you. We're only going to win 15 to 20 games. So what's the use of keeping you and pay you? When we're going to cut him? So Jeff Houston told me, he said, David, stop going after the pros that with contracts and try to get the rookies. Try to get the rookies out here first. But you know, I'm that dude. I'm going after. I want to go after the bad boys.
Right.
I didn't understand because if they have a bad day, back then, if you say my ankle hurts, you don't have to practice. You don't have to do anything. So it was a learning lesson. And I remember, but the worst day of my life as far as basketball was one of the greatest days of my life because that was the first day I was able to see my son. And I met my son that day. So it was bittersweet. I'm amazed at this little baby, but his name is David also. I'm amazed at this little baby, but I gotta go. I was like, it was crazy, but everything worked out. On the bus ride, I took the bus because I was so angry. You had told me something about you wanted to get away from basketball. I was mad. I stopped in Washington to see we had a girl we like our sister named Burl Griffin. So I said, Burl said, what's wrong with you? Where are you at? I said, I'm at the bus station. I just stopped. We stopped in Washington. She said, the coach from the Washington Bullets said they're getting ready to bring you in. I was like, for real? She said, call up. So I called my mother up. She said, yeah, they called up here. You got to call them up. I called them up. They said, look, go and report to the CBA, and we're going to bring you in, okay? get yourself all together. I told them what I was going through. They said, get yourself together. We're going to bring you in. And they did that. That's how I got to Washington.
Wow. That's crazy. Casey Edge want to know what's flying that picture. I think I saw him. Was he in the far right?
Say it again.
On the far left, Fly Williams. Was Fly in that picture?
Fly Williams, yeah, Fly Williams. It was the iconic basketball of Harlem back then.
Yes.
You know, after the Dr. J, Fly Williams played against Dr. J.
Right.
And whatnot.
Right.
I remember I played the game in Brevoort. Right? With
the Coliseum, legendary.
With Restoration.
Gil Reynolds.
No, Restoration was and he was a dreamboat. They beat us in the Rucker Championship, Restoration. But
was it Lester Roberts? Roberts?
It wasn't Lester. It wasn't Lester. I seen Lester down in LSU. But George Merton.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar.
Okay, George Merton was an academic nut. So he brings me down to Brevoort. So I'm asking all my friends, yo, come with me down to Brevoort. Guess what they tell me? Man, I'm not going to Brooklyn. You crazy? You going to Brooklyn by yourself?
That's what everybody said.
Yeah. I said, man, I got a game. I'm playing my game. But nobody will ride me. I'm on that train. It seemed like it's forever.
Was it a night game? Was it a night game under the lights?
Packed. You know how Brevoort is.
We still doing it. We still doing it.
Packed. When I got there, I think I'm at 15th Street. And
right.
I'm like, damn, this joint packed. So I'm walking, and the game is over, and I'm getting ready to play the next game. So I'll go to walk. I actually touched this guy's sneakers. This dude turned around, wanting to fight, screaming and yelling and whatnot. I said, yo, man, it was an accident. I said, yo, oh, Sweat. What's up, Fly Williams? Austin Pay, you averaged 38.7. You was killing. I wanted to be you. He shook my hand, said, you getting ready to play, young fella? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm going to watch him. I said, I'm going to put on a show for you. What's up, Fly? He was going to fight me first because I stepped on his sneaker by accident. Fly Williams.
And the court was decimated for 30-something years, maybe 25 years. And then because of this podcast and what I'm doing, we bought it back.
Wow. That's Brevoort. Imagine playing out there with a packed crowd, the music playing and everything, with a bunch of bad dudes. Eric Short was my man. It was so many bad dudes on the court. I love it. I say they play ball in Brooklyn, y'all.
Yeah,
they play ball. They balling in Brooklyn. I know we said we ain't going over there, but Brooklyn, they got it going on, and it's packed. I like when it's packed. Appreciate
that. What was the biggest difference you learned about the NBA and playing in college? What was the biggest difference?
Super athletes. Let me show you something. Like, say, like a pass that you can make just regularly in college, like it seemed like these dudes' arms would just stretch out even longer. The speed was much faster. They were cerebral. They understood the game. Because remember, Tiny, Doc, Larry Bird, Dr. J, all these people was playing back then, right? The game was so cerebral. Now it's more athletic. It wasn't like the NBA now. It's like street ball. Like everybody you can play. It's no positions. Yo, get it and go.
This is why it's hard for me to watch. So
yeah, because it's the go. I love basketball, so I watch it still. I got to see who the baddest street ball dude is. Right. But if you had to break the game down, but this is what people don't understand. If you watch the game, then when it comes to the playoffs, that game slows down.
Yes.
And guess what they try to get? Points in the paint.
That's right.
The game is supposed to be played inside out.
Mm-hmm.
They play it outside in. Like people think Steph Curry take more threes. He get more layups than anybody can imagine. But just watch the game and whatnot. Watch when the game get crucial. The ball go inside. Them big dudes who shooting threes, they going inside trying to get two, especially in the playoffs. Remember when LeBron and them beat Golden State?
Mm-hmm.
When they got them rebounds, they damn near, Mr. Referee, can I walk over here and give this ball to Kyrie or LeBron? Nobody was taking no shot. They knew who to give the ball to. Just think back in the 70s and the 80s. I watched Wilt Chamberlain play. That ball going inside, layup, inside. They had bad boys like Jerry West and them. Bill Russell and them was bad. All of them. They could shoot and everything, but when they got down, we going inside. We didn't have no threes. We needed a 3-point play. Drive to the hole, get hit, and make the basket.
Go ahead. You can keep going.
The speed of the game was fantastic. The level of education was fantastic. The coaching style was different. They really didn't want flamboyancy. They wouldn't say nothing to Tiny, or Doctor, and Magic and those dudes. But you had to temper your game a lot, and you had to be. I was with Bernie Bickerstaff and Gene Shue, so you had to be like almost kind of robotish, and everything like that.
Different politics. Now,
different politics.
I'm gonna give you the screen right now, so because I want to know your feelings about the NIL deals and the transfer portal.
Okay, well, this is what I want y'all to know for real. Most kids get their information from the internet as far as NIL deals. A lot of parents hear about this money and they think their kids are going to get NIL deals. If you really take a look at NIL deals, only a few people get them. And that astronomical number that they tell you for 10 months that they're going to get, it's not really, it's a figment of their imagination. For one, the college season is not 10 months long. So if you eliminate it early and you only played 8 months, soon as the season is over, that NIL money disappears. There's no more money coming. So you have to structure your deals properly. You should have a lawyer there who knows how to read contracts. Stop looking at the internet saying such and such got that because he didn't get it. Only a few people got it. And that's the real serious explanation of what NIL deals are. It's not a whole bunch of them. They're out there, but you can negotiate. But this is what I could tell other people. Let's say you live in your neighborhood. You could develop your own. I mean, you're going to school, but in your neighborhood, you got a business that wants to sponsor you. You can get an NIL deal for them. It doesn't have to be $8 million, $2 million, $500,000, $400,000. And I heard this. The coaches are going to stop doing NIL deals over $400,000. They're just going to act like we can't do it. So if the coaches get together and say that, even though it ain't their money, if they say we're not going to do it, if they got nowhere else to go, they're going to try to cap it off at $400,000, even though their contracts are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's right.
But you know why that is.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
whenever it's time for
money
for the brothers to get paid.
Right. So what I'm saying is that's that. Now the transfer portal is really, we have a kid named Terrence Warren. He's at East Phoenix Junior College, right? He's averaging about 15 points a game. I called Coach Tang up, Jerome Tang at Kansas State. I called Coach at Baylor. I called different coaches because he has the games that fit them, right? So I spoke to one of the coaches from UT today, and they said, David, now when you go back to these guys, you can say things like he has 35 games under his belt. So now he has college experience. He's in a junior college, but he has college experience. So now he could transfer to one of these schools. Now, if there's a bunch of schools that want him, he can negotiate an NIL deal. All kids are not going to get that. High school kids, it's killing the high school kids because everybody they could transfer. They could be graduating, getting ready to get their master's degree, so they can go to school that year. They can go to that school. So those scholarships are eaten up. There's 2.6 million AAU basketball players. There's 350 Division I colleges. So if you just look at Division I and everybody got 4 scholarships, what's that? 1,500 schools, 1,500 scholarships? You understand? So parents got to understand that it's very hard to get a scholarship. So let alone a transfer portal. That means you're already in and you're just trying to figure out what school you fit in at and everything. There's a lot of things that go on that you have to understand when you're doing the transfer portal. And then some of these kids just getting to junior college. Division II is very difficult. Division III is not easy. Like my son, Darius Williams at Sam Houston, we're going to take the kids around to see all different levels of college practices to see how difficult it is. Like that kid used to be a killer in high school. He's in Division III or NAIA. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you go to school and you play ball for 4 years, you're going to have a lovely experience. And if you graduate, you're going to think it's the greatest thing. It's the biggest school in the world, because you're going to find love from that school. So don't worry about what level you are. And if you think that you're better than what you go to school first, kill them on that level and you can move up levels. There's a lot of stories about kids like that. There's a kid at Memphis that's fantastic. I think he was at a Division III school, off the chain, ridiculous, 6'9" point guard.
Yeah.
So
a lot of those guys who was in the NCAA tournament this year transferred. Like, Fairleigh Dickinson had a lot of transfer players, and we beat a lot of schools. For
FAU. Think about it.
Yeah.
All these schools, these are not the game. San Diego State. The game has changed. If you think that you're that good, go to where someone accepts you, who really wants you, and play your butt off. And then you can go anywhere. You can go overseas. You can go to the NBA. Whoever wants you, whatever level, they're going to come get you. That's how simple that is.
No, that's real. That's real. If you could change one thing about your basketball journey, what would it be and why?
I wish I had started earlier. Like, I wish I had started when I was like 5 and 6 years old. Like, if I had played baseball, and all of my friends who played baseball with me, they know I probably would have been a pro at 17. I was baseball every day, all day, every day, all day. If I figured the way I dedicated myself to baseball, if I did that same thing in basketball, I would have learned so much. My ball handling would have been better. I would have learned how to shoot earlier, and my understanding of the game. Once you start understanding the game, your knowledge of the game gets easier. Like, I like playing with smart people. I don't care how talented you are. I like smart people because they can do things. You can read them. You can look in their eyes and tell them, and they'll know where to go. You can tell them where to go. They'll know where to be at on defense. It's so much fun. But if I had to do that, I wish I had started earlier. The people I met, thank God I met the people who I met. I have 3 beautiful children that's graduating from college. 2 of them already graduated. The little girl at Texas Tech, she's stepping off December 16th. Thank God. Hannah, thank you. I'm very proud of you and everything like that. I'm proud of my son who's coaching at Sam Houston High School.
Salute.
Was the coach
thank him for getting you connected tonight.
Oh, I was jacked up. He was like, I got it. Okay, Danny, I got you, and everything like that. Thank you, Darius. And my oldest son, David Anthony, he writes contracts and everything. So he's doing fine. He's balling. My grandchildren, Masai, who's playing ball for my son, and my 2 granddaughters. And thank you to my family, Debbie, Trevor, Keith, Z. Thank you very much. Z is my other sister. I stay with her when I come to Harlem. We have a ball in the summertime. Thank you very much. Just everybody, my friends. I miss you, Stu. Love you, Stu. But it's just like my friends. I have so many good friends. Like down here, they call me the Whistler. He made these sweatshirts up. And I whistle real loud.
And I done blown the whistle
Yeah.
all night. So.
That's what you need.
You the man right there.
Yeah.
I
So
can't do that.
the boys, the Sam Houston crew, the twins, everybody, the coaching staff. I'm loving every day going up to the school with my son, being around basketball. The businesses I'm involved with, Dave Kane. You know Dave Kane, right? Dave Kane is my little brother. That's my dude. We've been together since Gaucho days. Dave Kane, Chick, Dito. I'm doing stuff. We're doing business. Dale Davis. Like, we got so many different people that I should be thankful for because I'm around so many good people. Charnel, that's who introduced you and I.
That's
and
right.
I'm very thankful, Glenn, because you have a fabulous show.
Thank you.
A fabulous show. And people should be interviewing you because your knowledge, your experiences, and things that you do that's going to help this game grow. I've seen some of the things that you've done in the past. You put on spectacular people. It reinvigorates them. It makes them think, to be grateful. Like, I'm grateful to God every day for the things that he supplied for me and whatnot. I had people call up while we was on the phone. Steve Burke said, "You on?" He called in and everything like that.
Steve Burke, let's go. Let's make this
What
happen,
you
baby.
doing, Steve? What? Come on, rookie. Come on, rookie. Where you at, Gary?
No, we definitely gonna make it happen, man.
Okay.
Definitely gonna make it happen. But before we get out of here, we got to get into our top five. Let's go.
Top five.
All right, it works like this, right? You only get 5 choices. I don't want to hear about, yo, my man need to come off the bench, but I want to add him because no, none of that, fam, none of that. Top 5 ball players you played with. Top 5.
Well, I played with 2 of the all-time greatest players in the history of basketball, Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. So I can't leave them out.
That's 2.
In college, I have to say Vernon Smith.
3.
And in high school, I have to say Wendell Ramsey.
4.
And on the streets, I have to say Rob Wright.
That's 5. And my guy Casey adds, Casey, not my guy, because it could be a female. I don't know who it is, but Casey Ed says, when did you play against Sam Worthen or with Sam Worthen?
I never played with Sam Worthen. I played against Sam Worthen in the CBA, but my first game in the NBA was against Sam Worthen in the Chicago Bulls. And Sam Worthen's favorite thing to me, he still called me this today, Davey Dave. And when he saw me because he knew my mother and everything, my mother loved him. Sam came and hugged me. I felt so good. Whenever I see Sam Worthen, I tell people how amazing he was. He was one of the greatest passers I ever seen. I'm talking about everybody.
No, ever.
LeBron, Magic,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
Tiny, Sam Worthen, right? So humble. You would never think, he never showed nothing except for coolness. I wish I could be that cool and everything. But Sam Worthen was one of the greatest basketball players I ever seen and everything. His pass, if he was in today, he run every team. He can run any team or any offense ever. Like, it's astonishing. That's the same thing I say about Dave Kane. Dave Kane was just so impatient. I said, Dave, you just got to stick to it. He could pass so good. Like I said, nobody could pass like this. You can see how you get a nickname, the director.
Yeah.
And Sam Worthen was the big Dave Kane.
And both of them such awesome people.
People.
In real
Some
life.
of the greatest people.
Sam is my OG.
Known.
Salute, Sam.
That's your OG.
That's right.
And Dave Kane is my YG.
That's right.
Both kings.
Facts. All right, King. Top 5 players you played against.
Sidney Moncrief, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, well, you got to put Kareem. They was on the same team.
Oh, you played against the league. Obviously, you was in the league. So
so.
All right, so you
who's
get
the 5th?
Get one more.
Oh man, I'd say Darryl Griffin, but let me tell you, the microwave was so hard to guard. Look,
somebody got to get off now.
Look, wait. Let me just show you something. Wait.
Go ahead.
We held the microwave to his all-time low. He had 7 points against us. I'm playing at SMU. I'm running around. He was averaging 29.7 in college. No threes. I'm running around. They said, ladies and gentlemen, down in Waco, the Baylor Bears defeat the the TCU Horned Frogs. Vinny Johnson had 52 points tonight. Guess what I said when I was running around? He got his average back.
Wow. He paid for Baylor, right?
Him and Sam played at junior college.
Junior college
at McLennan County. And then he went to Baylor. And Sam went to Marquette.
That backcourt had to be crazy. Brooklyn all day. Salute to Brooklyn Kings. And
the
now,
big dude throwing alley-oops to the little dude.
That's right. That's right. Now Vinny Johnson is one of the greatest businessmen.
One of the greatest businessmen out. And one thing I want to say, I was with Andre Iguodala last week, and I'm so proud. He has a group that they're doing business in technology, and they're outside of basketball. He has a group of NBA players that's doing business outside of basketball. They're going to be doing business with other different people too. Like a lot of us are getting into other things. Technology is really the one that's really booming, right? We also in solar and things of that nature. Like we're into a lot of different things. Dave Kane is one of our business partners. You understand? He's trusted me. He was just he just been fantastic. So he's all around the circle, everything we do. So it's just an honor to meet these guys, and I like the way people are growing and getting involved in business. You're your own broker. We don't know what this might be. After I finish telling everybody, you might be overseas everywhere. Period. Everything. You've done over 500 shows. That's fantastic. Do you know how hard it is to do 10? Do one. Everybody on this thing, do one. Impress me. This man had 500. That's
all in 3 years. I'm going to my third year.
Wow, that's crazy. Somebody gonna call you up. They're gonna want to put you on there and everything like that because you do the regular people. You do the regular people who become stars that people don't know. You just do in New York. Imagine if you did the whole country. This place would be crazy. This place would be rocking. Yeah, it's rocking anyway.
We're going to expand. We're definitely going to expand.
Yes, we are.
All right, last one. Top 5 players in New York City history.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nate Tiny Archibald, Bernard King, Dr. J, I don't know whether to put an old timer in. We got Connie Hawkins.
Hey, you got 4 of my guys on the list, so that's all good.
I left on some bad boys because Butch and them is a bad boy. It's so many.
It's so many.
Yo,
you can't go wrong. And listen, no one has ever named the same 5.
Right. I'm like, shucks. I'm thinking these are people who amaze me that had me like, oh, I want to do that. Everything they did, I wanted to do. Let's imagine sitting at home. You saw that picture I sent you with the Kennedy shirt on?
Yeah.
With all those people, Gus Johnson, all those people on the wall. I used to sit down in front of the television in amazement, like, wow. I do it today sometimes when I see some of these bad boys. Steph Curry is amazing.
Right.
LeBron James is amazing. The only person I seen that really had me, you see that? That's 116th Street, 136 West 116th Street. That's my junior high school jacket right there too. Don't make fun of it. But but guess what? I got to give this to the GOAT. If we on this thing, when you're in New York City, imagine walking through the streets of Harlem and everybody say they got to go upstairs to watch one person play. These was drug boys, everybody. They going to watch Mike, right? Dudes used to get girlfriends so they can have cable television in the wintertime so they can watch Mike. Then when the spring comes, they leave the girlfriends alone. I was at that game when I took Dale Davis and Kim Grillier. He was an agent right now. When Michael Jordan against the Los Angeles Lakers in the championship went up in the air, came down, and went back up. Here's the crowd. I was with the crowd. Oh! There was a ring that I've never heard before. Couldn't believe it. I've never heard it before. I've never heard it. And the crowd, this was the old Bull Stadium. So the eruption was so ridiculous. I said, the series over. Because they was watching. Everybody was watching. Like, this is he for ridiculous? I can't say it the way I would say it out on the streets, but is this ridiculous like that? What the heck? And he's just, I love LeBron, but this dude right here had you like this every night. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't get into those arguments with people about LeBron and Jordan. I just let them talk.
I just, all I do is like I heard Jordan say, you have to do eras. But that dude right there, any era.
That's right, the best.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say this, brother. You're definitely one of the greatest players that ever played in New York City.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you on. I'm glad you can share your story. And, man, let's keep in contact. Let's keep this brotherhood going. And I'm going to be ringing your phone to get some of these greatest players in New York City that came up in your area, in your era, so we can keep this thing going, all right?
Anytime. Yo, love you, brother. Love you, King.
Yeah.
Yo, you don't, anytime. Look, you call me up 3 o'clock in the morning. Yo, what's up, Glenn? What we need to talk about? Let's go right now. Come on, whatever. I'll call you right back, 9 o'clock. I'll get that answer. Who you need? Okay, it's on this phone. Somebody's who you need to know is on this phone. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Anyway, but it was an honor. And so many people, when you told me I was going to do this broadcast, I wanted to bring up everybody. I think of so many people all the time. I love people. I love my family. I love my friends. I think of so many different people. I try to fit them in different stories, which is very difficult sometimes. I could slip them in. But if I left anybody out of some of the stories, you're still here in my heart.
That's right, man. Well, listen, man, go enjoy the rest of your evening and your family. Tell everybody I send my love and graces, man, and I'll be speaking to you soon, King.
You and the family, I got to send you a Texas shirt.
Got you.
Okay?
Got you.
And the hat. You got to wear the hat. I got a blue one, whatever color you want to wear. Okay?
And look, I'm going to pick up some more basketball merch. This is how we keep the show alive. You know what I'm saying? So we got the hats here, and the shirt's going on.
I got you. I got you.
We definitely going to be connected.
Before I leave, next year I want you to come down. We have a gala. It's called, excuse me, one second.
Got you.
It's the Jamal Brown JBI Invitational. We brought in teams from New York, Scanlon. We brought in teams, the top teams from Texas, state champions playing against each other. It's in November. I have to have you. I'm going to have Brawley in to do the announcing. We're going to do a podcast from Texas. We got all the technology.
Let me know. I'm with it.
We're going to have you in there. It'll be the Brown family will love you. We have a gala that's 700 people at a fly spot. The Brown family is so important to our community, East Arlington, that you're going to love it. We're going to have basketball ball heads in Arlington, Texas, East Arlington. Okay? You there. I got you. You and Brawley for sure. Okay? Love you.
I heard that, basketball heads. We in the building.
We in the building. The building's going to be fly. Wait till he tell you about it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay, you take it easy.
All right.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Wow. See, that's New York City brotherhood for real. No matter what your journey is in life, no matter if you start late, no matter if you start early, it's not how you start, it's how you end up, right? You know, they always tell you, it's not about you starting right now, it's about you finishing the game. And my guy, David Britton, is finishing the game strong. A New York City legend. A man of distinction, class, and honor. You can learn some things from him. No matter what your journey is in life, you appreciate it. You love the people around you. You make those special connections. Then you'll really be living the dream. Well, I am about to be out of here. I want to thank my special guest tonight, David Dingo Britton. It's crazy, man. It's a great night. Thank you for everybody that was tuning in. Want to give a shout out to everybody who checked in. Ayatollah Beats, Manny Salazar, my guy Brawley Chisholm, Big Brawley Chisholm, Fred Disco Brown on the check-in. Appreciate you. My guy, Bullhead. Nappy, appreciate you. Erica Howell, thank you for stopping by. Cassie Edge. Kay Pratt, we appreciate you. Eric Weaver, love, thank you. Derek Hawkins, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Always showing love. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother. September, appreciate you. Well, like I said, we're about to be out of here. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC basketball history. And like the bottom of my screen says, we are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.